I am so sick and tired of people who are giving their power away to everybody else and everything else. This victim mindset, this blaming others has got to stop. And let me tell you, I'm sick and tired of myself being this fucking way. Truly, I feel like there has been a lot of hard shit outside of me in my external circumstances and environment, and I succumbed to them. And it was like, woe is me, you know? Life is so hard and this thing happened and these people aren't doing their job. And, I had every excuse about why things were not going well. And you know what fixed that? Taking some fucking ownership and accepting my responsibility in the way that I was reacting to my environment, because I can't change my circumstances, but I sure as hell can change how I respond to them. And we are going to go into the limiting mindsets, the beliefs, the bullshit that you are telling yourself that is keeping you stuck. Let's dive in.
I thought you were going to say it was all thanks to my loving husband, how I was able to overcome these challenges.
You're part of my stress.
Without him, I would not be where I am today. And I owe everything to... No.
No, you're part of the thing I'm overcoming right now.
Are we recording, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. It's hard.
No, saying it's hard is a choice.
Oh, my God.
Don't accept it.
Now you all see what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Somebody who pushes you to be better?
It's not hard. It's great to have obstacles. It is very easy to be positive and have a bright, sunny outlook, and everything is right in the world. It's like the Lego movie song. Everything is awesome. We watched that the other day with our son. When you're making money.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the honeymoon phase. When everything is clicking, going right. And then when it starts to shift. Even at the slightest instance of we're not at our peak anymore. That fucking monkey mind just sets in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, that was never going to last. You're so fucking stupid for thinking this was easy. You're so dumb for thinking that this would last. That was a fluke.
Why did you even try?
You'll never hit that again.
Are?
You know who's to blame? The government.
Everyone else.
The economy. Low quality patients.
My team.
My landlord. My software's broken or limited and I can't do. The algorithm. Oh, that's a good one. My market, my area, my family doesn't support me. I don't know.
It's just too saturated.
Yep. It's too competitive. Yeah.
Yep.
Too many competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it the fuck out.
Or choose to do something else.
Yeah.
Because
it's hard. It's not easy. So
it's not easy.
If you're gonna sit here and wallow and constantly be going in this circular negative mindset, just go be an associate. Clock in, clock out.
And I think I want to reframe what I just said, because I said it's not easy, but I think it gets to be easy. I think we get to choose whether we make it hard or we make it easy. And I'm not talking about the circumstances. Again, there is hard shit that happens. There is bad shit that happens in the world, but how are you going to respond to it is the question, right? And like, if I'm sitting here and I'm letting everything overcome me and I'm focused on all of the hard shit, like right now, we are being threatened to be sued. And I could sit here and I could be worried about that. And I could be thinking about that. And I could be letting that take over every positive, joyous moment in my life. Or I could be like, you know what? I can't change what that person is doing. So let them do it. I'll figure it out. And in the meantime, I'm going to focus on the joy. I'm going to focus on the happiness and all the things that are going right in my life, because you know what? There's a lot of good shit happening too. And what can I control? I can control what my business is doing. I can go in and I can make tweaks to our advertising. We have a campaign that's not working. We have low quality people. Cool. Let's shift it. Let's try something different, right? We've got low conversions. Awesome. Let's do some team training, right? So I could focus on everything I could lose, or I could focus on how I just make more money. It's like that mindset, that shift matters. And I think we get so disempowered focusing on everything outside of us that could go wrong or that is going wrong that we forget how much control we have. And literally, like if you look at the quantum field, right? Like you look at where all this manifestation comes from, like the fact that we are just energy. And I feel like we don't even have time to go into the quantum field probably, but like everything is just energy. You are energy. I'm energy. This microphone is energy. Like we're just little orbiting balls of energy, right? And like my energy impacts my environment, and my environment is directly a result of what I am bringing into the current field, right? Because everything exists in all states at all times. We're just tapping into one. So if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to spiral and I'm going to focus on all the negative shit, what am I bringing into my reality is negative shit. But if I'm going to sit here and focus on all the things that I can control, manifest that vision, that future vision of everything going right, focusing on what could go right, and then taking aligned action to get there, oh, look at that. Things start magically going my way. No, it's because I'm fucking focusing on it and I have the power to create it. Like, stop giving your power away. Stop telling yourself that somebody else controls what you get to have in your life, because they don't. And the only way that they do is if you give that power away.
That was really good.
Fired up.
Fired up.
You gave me Vietnamese coffee.
Coffee's kicking in, you guys. Here she goes.
Listen, I feel like I've been living in this myself recently, and I'm finally waking up. I feel like I've been asleep for, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, a year, and
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm finally waking up and it's like, "Oh shit. I forgot who I was. I forgot that I had the power. And now that I've got it back, I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. Here we go. Let's go. You don't want to be here with me? Fine.
Get off this train.
Yeah. Step up or step out."
Steamroller Danielle, here she comes.
I mean, that feels really negative, so I don't accept that.
Okay, fine. What would you prefer?
Powerhouse, badass bitch.
Okay, well, I feel weird saying that word. Unless bougie is in front. Badass bitch is okay?
Yeah. As long as you've got the badass before, then it doesn't feel like.
So there has to be a positive before. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely 2 different ways to use that word.
I wouldn't say it the negative way.
I know. Okay. We've gotten far off topic here.
Marriage banter. I think we are so hard on ourselves, and like it's just so emotional brain that takes over. And then I always try to reuse logic to come back to reality. And I helped a client do this a week ago. She was like, my conversions are just so down. I'm not converting anyone this month. I'm just like in a dark place when it comes to patients on the schedule. I don't even want to see ROFs right now. I know they're not going to say yes. And so it's exactly what you were saying. It's like she was creating that reality. But then also the bar she was holding herself to, I don't think was realistic, because she had a lot of poor fit patients that she was trying to sell, a chiropractic package to, $4,000 chiropractic package to. It's like someone came in with a hand issue because you have cold laser, and then you're trying to sell them chiropractic. Like they were never going to say yes in my mind. So, if we take all of these bad cases, kind of poor fit. What was another one? Like, oh, my mom's in town visiting.
Yeah.
And she said no. I was like, well, yeah.
She
She's here for one
here.
visit.
Yeah.
Like, arguably, we probably shouldn't have even put her on the schedule.
Well, not go through the whole process of the new patient exam and the education. Yeah.
Right. So different process. So it's just stuff like that where it's like, okay, let's take all those away. And now let's look at your numbers. Oh, conversions aren't that bad. They're actually in line.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's logic. And that's not easy to do.
Right.
Especially when you're, shooting all over yourself or what have you. But there's a really good video on YouTube. It's a clip of Jocko Willink, who's a Navy SEAL. He's written the book Extreme Ownership. I think he just came out with a new book. He was a Navy SEAL. Now he's a motivational speaker, and he has his own podcast too. And he talks about how they were overseas, deployed, and anytime anything went bad, he would just respond with good. And his team would start saying, "Why do you always say that? I hate it when you say that. Why do you say like this shitty thing just happened? Why do you keep saying good?" And he's like, "Well, it is. Didn't get the job you want? Good. More time to prepare. Or good. Wasn't the right opportunity for you. Didn't close that patient, didn't close an ROF, didn't hit your record? Good. Another opportunity to refine your skills, to improve your systems." And I think that is like a really powerful shift that is not easy to make in the moment.
No,
I
yeah.
acknowledge that. Have your 5-minute funeral, go watch a movie by yourself, go for a walk. We've actually been doing that lately. You might go for a walk and stumble into an Italian restaurant and have some pasta at 10:30 in the morning. I can't say that you won't,
Listen, don't judge me.
but also it helps kind of get the juices flowing a little bit.
You
And
gotta change your
you can
state.
kind of change your state. You can kind of snap out of things a little bit if you're just like, I'm just going to go for a walk down the street. I'm going to come back. So anyway, you need to do that. Do whatever you need to do. However, come back to, at least for me, I try to come back and try to fight this feeling with logic. Okay, if this were true, then what would my reality look like, right? If I was shitty at this thing, then patients would be leaving. They'd be leaving bad reviews. They'd be, asking for refunds. Are those things true? No. Okay, then whatever I'm feeling is not true. And then what's the good that can come from it? It's impossible to see in the moment. It's hard to see what good can come from someone threatening to sue us. Well, a positive is we've hired an HR company. We've improved our systems. We now take ownership of, a little more ownership over, the employee experience and onboarding and maybe things that we kind of swept under the rug because we were growing and scaling too fast. And Kyle and Danielle are big picture thinkers and can't be bogged down with minutia of legalities.
Well, and we're hiring the right people now too.
Yeah,
The culture fit. I think
that's true. Yeah, and that's a big part of it. But
Yeah.
all I'm saying is like, there's always some good that we can take from a hard lesson learned.
Right. How is this happening for me, not to me?
Yeah, because it's easy. we we took a call with someone, and we were kind of seeing if it was a good fit to work together as consultants for her in her practice. And we had an hour-long conversation talking
An hour and a half.
Okay, hour and a half conversation. Goals, what's working, what's not, where are the gaps. And we kept coming back to, she uses Jane as her EHR. Well, Jane doesn't have this functionality. Jane makes it really restrictive and can't do this. And it finally happened, I think, the third or fourth time. And I was just like, why the fuck do you still use Jane? Like, if that is the root and preventing you from, and it was just like, wow, well.
It would be so hard to switch, and it would be such a process. And the other ones are, 3 times as much. It's like, okay, well, but you have all these problems that are costing you maybe thousands of dollars a month, but you're worried about spending $300 on a software. You're worried about a temporary shift, a temporary hard that will get you to a permanently better. Like, we create so many villains outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
We create scenarios and reasons and things. And that's my point, is like, she's giving her power away to this tiny little thing. And if you can remove yourself, you can gain that perspective and look at the problem from outside. And that's the beautiful thing about being business consultants, is like, we have outside perspective. We're not emotionally attached to the things that our clients are going through. So we can look at it and be like, oh, well, it's a simple switch, right? But whether you accept that advice or not really is determined by your ability to, I don't know, emotionally detach, right? And your ability to make the changes. And I think that the people that we see succeed are the ones who are open, who are willing to take advice that maybe doesn't feel good. They question those emotions because, like, let's think about it logically, right? Our brain is trying to protect us. At the end of the day, like, we have survival instincts. And what will be the safest thing is to stay exactly where you are, to do the thing that's working currently, to do the stuff that keeps you alive.
Yep.
Are those the things that are going to take you to the next level? Fuck no. Staying safe and staying protected is being complacent. It's easier. There's less friction. there's less resistance, and so it feels more comfortable. But we have to expand. We have to do uncomfortable things. So the people that we see succeed are the people who are hearing the things that we have to say. They're taking that perspective. They're looking at things differently, and they're like, "Oof, this doesn't feel good. This is going to be hard, challenging, whatever word they want to use." And they're like, "Cool, let me lean into it." Right? Let me do the things that you're saying because I can see that even though that feels hard and even though that's going to be a barrier and even though I'm going to have to problem solve to get through that, I can see that it will take me further. But if you don't let yourself detach enough to take your power back, you're never going to be able to shift and move forward.
You have to check your ego.
And you got to choose. Do you want to stay safe or do you want to grow?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Are you willing to go through a temporary hard for a permanent fix?
Right.
Whether that's an EHR change or a new workout plan or, a new lifestyle, whatever, or a new sales process or,
Or taking on all the operations of your company when the wrong operations manager leaves.
yeah,
Woof.
yeah. You could spin up any reason why you're not at your goals
Right.
for a ton of different reasons. But what are we actually doing about it? And that always helps me with my anxiety is taking action. And it's like, okay, I want Verve to be at $300,000 a month. We're at 185 in April. How do I get there?
What needs to be true?
What needs to be true? What do I need to change? And if I got 100 new patients tomorrow, what systems would break? So it's like, I don't know. It's a combination of like, we have to act as if and kind of think in terms of 10x, right? But then also we have to have the ego checking to be able to say, like, yeah, I'm not doing enough. Or like the hard internal conversations. And I've talked about this before, right? Like if someone no call, no shows, that's not a patient problem. That's you have a broken system.
Mm-hmm.
And the reframe is good. Now I have the opportunity to fix the system,
Exactly.
right? Prime example right there. Because
Yeah.
this keeps happening and good. Now I can see it now. And now I can prioritize it over the other million things I need to do.
And at scale, that might look like having 139 booked appointments at one of your offices and only 70 of them show up. Ouch.
Yep.
So I could focus on how shitty my team did and how mad I am and all of the things, or I could be like, all right, Danielle, you dropped the ball here. Something in your system is not working. Why and how do you fix it?
Well, a lot of things weren't working. But yeah,
Totally. But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's a macro example of this micro situation, right? Is like you have to look at those things and choose how they can work for you. Instead of just getting pissed and maybe firing someone because they didn't do the thing, it's like, cool, well, maybe I didn't train them well. Maybe they're too busy handling leads from our ads and that shouldn't be happening in-house. We need to hire an outside team to handle our calls because we have too many, the volume's too high. So then the in-office experience suffers. It's like you got to take that ownership and that accountability because nobody's coming to save you.
no one's coming to save you. That's the reality. So back against the wall. If you're not going to close up shop and become an associate or start a new career, then, and that's probably the majority of listeners on this, then we got to figure it the fuck out. So are we going to keep blaming the algorithm for not giving us more than 500 views on our Instagram posts? Or are we going to try to figure out what's working and what's not and use data and get more reach or more volume or learn how to run ads or learn a new skill? Go to another seminar. Take a sales seminar if your conversions are shit. Get an outside perspective.
Yeah. That is something that has come up this week with both our team and with clients. When you think about a professional athlete, a professional anything, somebody who is at the top of their game, what are they doing? They are training day in and day out. When's the last time you trained on a report of findings? When is the last time that you really reflected on your performance and improved it? Whether that's as a leader, in a conversation with a patient, your technique, right? The chiropractic skill or the injection that you're doing. And like, when's the last time you went to an anatomy textbook and like really knew or studied exactly the thing that you're doing? Like, you have to train consistently. You have to have focus on getting better every day if you don't want to stay exactly where you're at. And not many of us are doing that. right? That
Yeah.
complacency, that safety, that takes over. And I feel like it's not just in the skills that we're trying to develop and not just maintain, but like improve and get better all the time. It's also in our mindset, right? Which is kind of the core of this episode. But I know for me, when I am starting to feel like my external circumstances are overcoming me and I don't have power, I can look to a few different keystone habits that have fallen off. Like, guaranteed. My inner dialogue is starting to suffer. My vision casting has gone out the window. I'm not thinking about what I want. I'm just focused on the present and the bad things, the hard things. I am not doing things that bring me joy or taking care of myself in the way that I should. Like in this recent season where I was really struggling and feeling compressed by everything around me, I had stopped journaling. I was waking up early, but it was kind of frantic. I wasn't finding ease in my morning. It wasn't joyful. I would wake up, I would grab coffee, I would go right to my computer and I would do tasks because I was in this just like stressed survival state. At nighttime, I stopped doing meditation. I stopped doing breath work. I stopped doing the things that normally regulate me and help me feel good. I stopped working out. Like I can very much look around at my life and be like, yeah, no wonder I feel like shit. No wonder my mindset sucks because I'm not doing the things to take care of me. So if you're in this place where you feel shitty, you feel like you've lost control, even if you can't change your numbers right now, your revenue, even if you can't change this bad thing that's happening to you, you could probably start journaling. You could probably go for a walk. You could probably call a friend and have a conversation with somebody you love. You know, it's like, what are the things that you can do that will shift your nervous system in that moment? And those things build and compound over time. Like, get your habits back even before anything else gets better. And this is the whole concept of be, do, have, right? Like, who is the person in that future version of yourself who already has all the things you desire? Guaranteed they're not waking up stressed and going straight to their computer and pounding coffee and not doing the things that they like to do, right? So, like, start being that person, and I promise you everything else will start falling into place. You'll start having that more positive mindset. It's amazing how much that changes and how easy it is to fall out of those things when life feels hard.
They're not drinking IPAs at night thinking, oh, tough day. I
I
deserve
deserve this.
this. But God, are they good?
But can we shift that, right? Instead of the like, I need this at night to decompress, maybe we have a little bit less. Not every night. Maybe it's like a Friday, Saturday, we go out to a brewery with our kids. Why is that word so hard to say?
Brr.
Brewery. But we go out with our kids. We have good conversation. We watch the kids play and we have a nice cold beer at the end of a week. Like, I think that there is just a shift that happens. And like, if you're not where you want to be, look at your habits. Look at your habits. If your mindset isn't great, look at your habits.
But what would you say to the person who is so negative and wrapped up in this? Because it is like a habit to go
Mhm.
straight to the negative,
Yeah.
right? And it's that confirmation bias and everything sucks. And like I find myself, it's a lot easier to get down that rabbit hole when I've kind of flirted with it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who is deep in it?
Mhm.
How do you bring them out of that? I'm
Yeah.
thinking of one client in particular who is just kind of negative, kind of, like my friend Danny, just kind of negative Danny,
Yeah.
Eeyore type of energy.
So first,
Everything sucks.
yeah.
Everyone's out to get me.
Yeah.
The economy, the government,
Yep.
the whatever.
Listen, I think the first step is deciding you have to be willing to see it and willing to change. So if somebody's coming to me and asking me that, that tells me that they probably have enough wherewithal to be like, ah, yes, this sucks and I feel this way and I go to this place, but I want to shift. Right. I think that's step one is like the willingness and the openness and like truly being vulnerable enough to look at your situation and be like, maybe I have some accountability to take here. And then I think for giving yourself grace. I know you hate that saying, but like
I only hate it because it's over you. Just give yourself grace,
live that
mama. You're doing the best you can. Oh my God.
live that
Every
love.
every fucking Instagram reel on Verb's feed is that from other
But listen,
providers.
like truly give yourself the grace and know that our brain is hardwired to keep us safe. And so what you're going through, while you have ownership and ability to change it, it's not your fault. It's not like you are a bad person. Take away the shame, take away the shoulds, and just start fresh today. So we've gotten step 1 is being willing to do this. Step 2 is forgiving yourself for being here in the first place and not blaming yourself, because that's still that external blame. It's like blaming something for this. No, fuck that. Okay? We have the power to change, but we also have the power to change in a positive way, but also in a negative way. So when we've gotten to that place, it's because we've patterned it over and over and over again, right? And our brain is a patterning machine. It looks for patterns and it goes down that repetitive path to, again, stay in the lane that's keeping us safe. So what we have to do is say, okay, I'm in this lane right now, and it's going to be a little hard. It's like when you're driving anywhere, right? On a freeway, you kind of like know how to get from point A to point B so well that you don't even think about how to get there. You just show up and you're like, oh, I daydreamed that whole time. Like I didn't even realize I got off on that exit, but I did because it's the way I go. Right. So it's like, okay, we're going to have to retrain our brain to go to the positive over and over and over again. Like, I can't take this freeway anymore. I'm going to have to take the side streets. Well, the first time you do that, it's going to feel weird. It's not going to feel natural. You're going to have to check your GPS. You're going to have to make sure that you're turning at the right place. You might miss a turn. You might not end up where you meant to go, or it might take a little bit longer. Fine. That's going to be the first few times. And then eventually you pattern it enough that that new way becomes your automatic way. And all of a sudden you got to point B this new way and you were daydreaming the whole time and you didn't even realize how you got there. So the way that we do that is we retrain our brain with the same types of habits that got us here in the first place, but we use them for good. So let's start to catch ourselves and be more aware of the thoughts we're thinking. If I sit here and I'm going down this rabbit hole of, oh my God, what if this happens? And how am I going to do that? And okay, cool. Let me catch that loop. I think that I'm stuck in a negative cycle. And then literally imagine the opposite. What if everything went really well? Like, what good could come from this? If I end up like in a place where the worst thing that I imagine doesn't happen, what could my life look like? If the best case scenario happens, what does my life look like? What are my kids doing? What am I doing? Like, really trying to shift that visualization for good instead of bad. And then I think, get a fucking journal. I know it feels like something that everybody says all the time, but truly putting pen to paper, even if it's repetitive, even if in the beginning it doesn't feel natural, just start writing what you're grateful for. And it can be as simple as like, I'm grateful that I have food to eat today. I am grateful that I have water to take a shower. I'm grateful that I have a house to live in that has air conditioning or heat. Like, start with those simple things, but the more you can pattern that gratitude and find the things in your life that are going well, the more you're going to look for those things and look for evidence that life is awesome. So I think it's like these little tiny steps, but step 1 is being aware that it's happening in the first place, and step 2 is being willing to change it. And I think that once you can get into that new pattern of finding the good, training yourself to look for the good, starting to shift more towards that positive, then naturally the bigger stuff, the bigger positives are going to start to roll around. Instead of looking at the stuff that could go wrong, you're going to find the opportunities. And then you're going to start reinforcing that life is good, right? Because then an opportunity comes, you are open enough, willing enough to see that opportunity, you act on it, and good stuff happens. And it's like, ooh, right? You start to kind of get this reinforcement. And I think it just happens naturally and progressively. And I also think, like, shift your state, like we said earlier, because sometimes you're in that negative cycle and somebody's like, yeah, just think positive. I know I've done this to you before. I'm like, shake it off, like just get out of your head, shift. You're like, fuck that. Like, I'm mad right now and I'm having a hard time not being mad. Cool. Go move, go exercise, go move your body,
Smoke some weed.
go for a walk. Do not smoke some weed. That is not my recommendation. I mean, if that's your jam, I'm not judging you, but that's a whole different conversation. But listen, like, you gotta shake shit up. You cannot keep doing the same stuff. You cannot be. And last thing I'll say, I know I'm ranting here. Stop hanging out with people who are fucking negative.
That's so true.
Stop hanging out with people who are negative. It could be your family.
It confirms all the everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go hang out with a person who's like, oh, did you watch the news today? This bad thing is happening in the world, and this bad thing, and oh, did you hear that this is happening over in this country? It's like, dude, get that shit away from me. Yes, I know what's happening. Yes, I know real life happens. I am not naive,
Describe your mom.
but I'm living in my little bubble of abundance. Steph Wigner says that, and I fucking love it. I'm living in my little bubble of abundance, and I'm choosing to create the reality for myself and for my family and for my community. And if we all did that, can you imagine how much better the world would be? If we could all focus on our little fucking bubbles of abundance and did good shit for other people, maybe we could make some change in the world instead of focusing all this bad shit and all the things that are going wrong. Pisses me off.
Man, you need another coffee.
Maybe I need less coffee.
I think it's fair to say you're frustrated with maybe programming.
I'm frustrated
Or
with programming, and I feel like the state of the world, the way society has shifted in the last few years, and maybe it's since COVID. I can't put my
it's
finger on it.
virality. I mean, no, it's really since it's
Social media.
clickbaity, it's virality, it's look at the train accident versus something good that happened. And yeah, I think it probably contributes to a lot of this and confirmation bias that bad things happen all the time. And it's like, okay, but I don't want to focus on that.
Right.
I'm choosing to focus on the good.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the moral of the story is like, you will see and call in, and your reality will shift based on whatever you choose to see. If I choose to see that I'm doing the right thing and that people are inherently good and that people value what I offer and the right people will find me and the no call, no show kept room open on my schedule for a better patient to come in, then we're going to be okay. But if we're running into the same boundaries we've set for ourselves because of an EHR limitation, then how are we ever going to grow and break through
And I think
our own internal noise?
that's the thing. You got to question everything. Every belief that you have. Every time you look at your current situation and you're like, well, it's just because of this. Question that. Is that true? Because
And what are you going to do about it?
and what are you going to do about it? Right? You're mad that your ads aren't working the first week that you run them.
Yeah.
Why don't you go understand how ads work? And if they're supposed to be working the first week because they're not.
Maybe that'll give you a little empathy for when patients don't follow through with a care plan because in a week they're not immediately better. It goes both ways.
Yeah, I think
It is interesting though. I will say, like, bringing it back to business, the under 30,000, 40,000 a month, if you're consistently in that range, it seems like from our experience that there seems to be a higher prevalence of kind of a negative mindset about
mhm.
patients, about ads, about I can't break through this plateau. Other people that have is because they had something that I don't. Their market is different. It's like an invisible barrier around that 30 to 40K mark. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. And maybe that's me generalizing.
I mean, you're generalizing based on experience, right? I think that has been a through line that we've seen in clients who get stuck at those revenue bands is there is a more prevalent limiting mindset. There is more of a comparison happening. There are excuses that get made. When I say excuses, I mean we're blaming the external rather than
Yeah.
taking accountability and being open. And I just like really want to reiterate most of the time, we think of these excuses, we think of these barriers like they feel so real, but you have to question them because most are not, right? It's like, there's no way I could change EHRs. That's going to be such a nightmare, blah, 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 blah. Is that true though? Will
Or
it
is that
be?
the story you're telling yourself to keep
Exactly.
you here
These
because this is
stories keep.
safe and this is what you know? You know, Jane, and something else is unknown and it's scary. Yeah.
So I feel like it is that unwillingness to get really uncomfortable. Another one that we've seen is, I couldn't possibly take more patients. I don't know how I could get past this revenue. There's no way I'm at capacity. Well, have you thought about maybe double booking every other appointment slot? Oh, I could never do that. My patients wouldn't. Yeah, no, I could never do that. My patients would all leave. Would they? Would they even know? Or,
Or not taking a 3-hour break in the middle of the day.
not taking a 3-hour break in the middle of the day, maybe working more than 2.5 days a week. I don't know.
Oh, another one was, my front desk can't she's terrible with following up with the leads, and I'm lighting money on fire, so what can we do with, Go High Level to make it, like, super automated? I'm like,
Or should we just turn the ads off?
"Yeah, should we turn the ads off because they're not working?" It's like, Okay. Should we get a different office manager? No. Okay. Should we contract out and hire someone, a call center to follow up with the leads so she doesn't have to? No, I can't do that either. I can't spend an extra $1,800 a month. Okay. Like, we got to look internally because there's logical solutions to this problem.
Yeah.
And you're
People
not willing to even explore them or entertain them.
right.
Just shut them down.
People have asked, time and time again, how did you grow as fast as you did? And you could look at me and you could say it's because you're in Southern California. Your market is there's people everywhere. It's because this, that, or the other. But I will tell you how we grew as fast as we did. And I don't necessarily recommend doing it in terms of scaling to 3 locations as fast as we did. But growing in terms of our revenue and our team and like our impact was because I was willing to ask uncomfortable questions and do uncomfortable things. So that example, spending $2,000 when I didn't feel ready to spend $2,000 because I knew that the capacity it would open and the potential it would create was there, I invested those resources. I took $2,000 less home to grow and expand. Right now, we're bringing in this medical team to do the wellness side of things. The doctor we interviewed yesterday for our Costa Mesa location was like, "Wow, you're going to be spending a lot of money." And I was like, "Mindset."
Yep.
Because for me, am I investing a lot of money to do this? Yeah, absolutely. But I also have done the projections. It's not like I'm just throwing
It
money
gets us
into
to
a bucket.
500K a month.
Exactly. So I think that that is the answer that most people don't want to hear because it's like, oh, I don't really want to get uncomfortable, right? I don't really want to make those shifts. I don't really want to take less home. Cool. Stay where you are.
Stay at 40K for the rest of your career.
Yep. We've got a clinic right now who we've been working with for quite a while and we love her to death. And she's like, well, do I do this or do I do that? Do I bring in an associate now or do I wait? I'm like, you get a choice. You can bring the associate in now. You can train them. You're totally busy in your office. You're seeing a ton of patients. It's going to be more work. You're going to have to train her. She'll help you take those patients, but you're going to have to pay her well. And that's going to be less money than you're taking home. But you have to choose. Do you want to stay as busy as you are with patients? Or do you want to get busier training and take less money for a period of time, knowing that it's going to double your capacity to earn? And she's like, that one. And guess what? She's growing. She's doubled her revenue in the time that we worked together and continuing to grow beyond that. And will continue to grow her team. So it's the people who are willing to ask uncomfortable questions, do uncomfortable things, rub up against and lean into the hard shit, the discomfort, knowing that they have full capacity to create anything that they want to. Like the people who are willing to take their power back by stepping into the uncomfortable are the ones that are going to win.
Yeah, that's the mindset that you may not have currently, you may not have been born with, but we get to choose what kind of mindset we have, what kind of outlook we have. And that is what is going to get you to the next level. Maybe it's from 30 to 40. Maybe it's from 40 to 80. Maybe it's from 80 to 3 million. I don't know. But we have to think bigger and we have to think that these hard times happen for us, not just to us. There is good in the world. There is positive things happening. There is so much money in circulation outside of our little chiropractic clinic in bumfuck nowhere, right? Like there are trillions of dollars in the global economy being circulated right now. Why not have more circulated your way? So focus on the positive, think big, think in terms of investment, not, sunken cost. Get out of your ego mind trap. Check yourself. Search in YouTube, Jocko Good, and it's a 30-second clip, and you'll hear him. Someone put music to it. It will get you fucking pumped up. Watch it before you work out. And I guarantee your outlook on your own clinic and your personal life will drastically change. We'll see you next time.